Well, here it is, gang. It's my very first fully mirrorless camera trip. I, like many other photographers, have been slowly making the move to mirrorless systems. It all started with this Sony NEX 5N that I got for one of my personal shoots that I was on, and I needed a long lens, and I bought this kit, and I needed it for multiple jobs. So I picked this up, fell in love with it, and really stopped using my Canon 5D Mark II for most of my work that I did on a personal level or as freelance work. And so I started carrying this with me on my Operation Blessing trips as a second camera because it's lightweight and because it has a flip screen on the back, which I really liked for being able to get low shots and high shots and being able to see the image that I'm capturing, whereas in my 5D I couldn't see that because it doesn't have a tiltable screen. And I also like this eyepiece that tilts as well, which is an add-on. But I ended up selling my Canon 5D Mark II personally because I saw the image quality coming off of the X-Trans sensor of these Fuji cameras. I mean, it's amazing. I'm in love with this system and plan to develop it more. Well, what happened? I'll get into the backstory of why I'm going mirrorless for this trip. I tore a muscle in my neck, and so my doctor, chiropractor, said no heavy stuff on your neck. And I started thinking about my camera gear that I have to carry on my shoulder when I have the Canon system, and it doesn't take long for it to start weighing you down with just a couple of lenses in the body. And so I started wondering, what am I going to do? You know, I've always relied on that for my video work. I'm more than confident in these for my photographic work, but I'm still holding on to the Canons for shooting video. Well, here is the perfect excuse for me to go it with the mirrorless only. And I'll show you why I'm using both of these systems instead of just taking one. And it's a little bit different, I guess, for newer Fuji shooters, but still not perfect. The video on the Fuji is kind of an afterthought. The X-Pro 1 unfortunately doesn't have a microphone input, so I can't attach any mics to this system. It also shoots in auto mode, so I can control things like the aperture, but I can't get a manual exposure and lock in the exposure that I want. So if I'm going from light to dark areas, it's going to automatically change. And I think that the step process of it's not very smooth, so it's very noticeable. The Sony, on the other hand, the Sony is beautiful for video, and I have this wide-angle lens. So I have the 2.8 16mm pancake for the Sony with their wide-angle adapter, which for a crop sensor makes it like a 10mm. For full frame, that'd be like a 16mm, and so it's really wide, and I love that look. And that's what one of the lenses that I almost always have on my Canon is the 16 to 35mm, so that I can keep it at 16mm for that wide look. So I'm going to be able to capture that with this camera. I have the 18 to 55 kit lens. It's a zoom optical image stabilizer. Handhold this thing, and it's super smooth. And the video quality on this, I really like the video quality. It's crisp, it's great color, and it's small and compact, so you can move it and do really cool and fun things with it. And then I have my Fuji system that I can use for B-roll, because the audio is going to be all over the place. I can get the depth of field though with this 35mm 1.4. So on my Canon, I'd have a 16 to 35, the 24 to 105 f4, and then the 50mm. Those are my go-tos. I also have the 70 to 200 f2.8 image stabilizer lens that's super duper heavy and a beast to carry. And so even when I would travel, I would carry the Sony with the zoom lens that I have for this, which I happen to have lent to a friend. And so I don't have it here to show you. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot all of my primary video on the Sony. So it's coming, these two lenses, as my video system. I've also got this 50mm f1.2 Nikkor lens that's fully manual, and it's got both an adapter for my Nikon and for my Sony here, so I can use it on either camera for video or photos. And so this kit that I've got a 55 to 200mm XF lens coming for my Fuji for doing my my long shots that I need to be able to zoom in on, and I'll use that for video as well, because people do get, and I've gotten really pretty video off of this Fuji. I just can't use it solely as my video camera at this point, and trust it. So when I go into my important interviews and things like that, I have a boom mic for my Sony, but it also doesn't have a mic input, and so I'll be using an audio recorder, kind of like what I'm using right now to record this, because I'm actually recording this on my iPhone 5 because this is literally all of my camera gear right here, so I don't have anything else to shoot it on. And so this will get the clean audio that I need to be able to do interviews and things like that. So I'm very, very excited. It's going to be lightweight, and in this, this little package here that's really lightweight, I have a great range of lenses, and it's going to be able to be utilized for both video and photography, and all of my flashes work with both of these. I've got an adapter for my Sony, and this Fuji just works with my Canon flashes if I use my Pocket Wizards, because this will trigger my Pocket Wizards. So I've got everything that I would normally have when I carry my heavy Canon gear, except the weight. So again, I'm really excited about this, and I can't wait to share some of the images and the videos that I capture in Honduras next week.